Okay, so this is for question 1 of my evaluation. In what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? So I'm going to take you through real media products such as LA Confidential, Brick, and Gangster Squad, and point out the parts that inspired me the most and made me want to include something similar in our film. My film is here on the left, Exchange of Interest, and then I'm going to be showing you clips from real media products and real media films, and comparing what I like and what I've included in my film. So when researching film noir and neo-noir films and actually watching and analysing them, I found that many conventions of the genre that I definitely wanted to include in our film. Although our film is a neo-noir, we still wanted to include traditional film noir aspects to make it suit the genre and be open to a wider audience, as I feel that film noirs and neo-noirs hold different aged audiences, and so including aspects from both genres would give our film a wider audience, which would gain us more sales and promote and make our film bigger and better. So at the beginning of our film, our animated production logo is shown in the style of a typewriter. Just going to show it to you here on the screen to the left. Okay, and so yeah, we decided on this style of a typewriter as we feel it suits the old style noir genre. However, including the word new, as you can see in this shot here, we've included the word new. It's called New Ink Productions. So including the word new in it, in our company name, suggests that we are more modern and up to date, and hints that the films are recent. For example, our neo-noir Exchange of Interest. So, yeah, although it's sort of like an old style logo, the new and the animated sort of feel of it gives a sort of recent and up-to-date feel. When watching LA Confidential, which I'm going to show you in this clip here, we came across a scene where a typewriter is involved, and immediately we were drawn to this prop and also the particular sound that the typewriter makes. We made sure that we included this aspect in our film. Although we didn't actually include it in our actual film as a prop, we made sure we included it, the sound of the typewriter, in our logo. So I'm just going to show you this clip which shows a typewriter. So here he's using it. Yeah, and so this scene, and particularly the noise of the writer, inspired us to include it in our own film. Okay then, and then also in our first scene of our film, where you see the two cars meeting in the car park, which I will show you round about now. You can hear the rumbling sound of the car engine, which we particularly wanted to include in our film after watching a clip from Brick, which I'll just show you here. Okay, so although in this clip from Brick, and also Brick is a neo-noir recent film which we watched and analysed together as a class. But anyway, yeah, in this clip of the car, the sound of the engine is more sort of screeched and more intense because it's more of an action-filled scene. Although in our film it's a bit more calm, and the sound of the engine is more subtle and it's not as action-filled as Brick's one. But it's just because our scene is the very first scene. We don't want to include lots of action in our first scene, whereas this is quite through the middle of the Brick film. So yeah, we particularly liked this sort of rumbling of the car sound from Brick, as it sort of built up the intensity. It sort of made it seem more interesting, more engaging, because the rumbling of the car sort of is I don't know, different and unique for the audience to listen to, and it's not something that you really see in films, like the sounding of cars rumbling. So we made sure when we were filming this, everywhere else around us was silent and all you could hear was just the car, as it was a bit different and unique as to what was coming up, where the car was going, things like that, and it built up the anticipation for the audience. Also, having the sound of a car linked in with our neo-noir style of film, because it was more modern and recent, and having the actual shot of the car, which was, we actually used Volkswagen cars, if you can see in this shot here. They're actually Volkswagen cars, so they're quite new cars, and they're actually the two boys that are in a film, it's actually their own cars. So luckily enough, they said it was okay for us to shot them in our film. And so yeah, it just gave a more modernised film to us, because usually in film noirs or traditional film noirs, it's sort of old, really old styled cars, and in neo noirs, it's more newer cars with sort of bigger engines. So yeah, we definitely wanted to include that to contribute towards our neo noir style of film. Also, in this beginning scene of ours, we have a voiceover playing. I'll just get you to that bit. Okay, so we decided to include a voiceover in our film after watching a clip from the very first clip, from LA Confidential, where there is a voiceover right at the beginning, which I'll just show you on this screen here. Okay, so that voiceover from the beginning of LA Confidential is actually from Danny DeVito, who is in the film himself. He is sort of setting the scene of LA Confidential, talking about Los Angeles, he's saying, "Come to Los Angeles," is describing it, which is different to ours. We have basically it from the point of view of Jack, who is our detective, and he is describing how he's an honest, loyal man, he does his job properly, which sort of foreshadows what's to come in the rest of the film, and how he does do his job properly, but it actually in the end gets him in trouble. So although they say different things, but they both include voiceovers at the beginning, which we particularly liked, and we definitely wanted to include that into our film, as it's also a typical convention of a film noir. Also, when watching Gangster Squad, this clip from Gangster Squad, which includes Emma Stone, who is this girl here, she plays the femme fatale. Gangster Squad is a really recent neo-noir styled film, which was actually released in January of this year, 2013. So, yeah, she plays the femme fatale, and I'm just going to show you this clip of her and Ryan Gosling, who is the male in this clip. So we used the typical convention of a femme fatale in film noirs, in that she is portrayed as a seductive and sexy character that is mysterious and teasing throughout the film. We see her in this film very flirtatious, staring at him in the eye, looking him up and down. Also leaned over the bar, very relaxed, cool, and collected within the scene. She doesn't seem nervous, threatened by him. She seems very relaxed, and as if she's flirting and trying to get to know him. And so I'm just going to show you a clip from our film where the femme fatale is firstly introduced. I'm going to get out at the right point for you. Here we are. So if you just watch this scene, this is where the femme fatale in our film is first introduced. So first of all, we have a slow pan up revealing her dress, which is actually really similar to the one that Emma Stone wore. When watching Gangster Squad, we particularly liked the red colour of her dress that she wears, and so we decided to have a red colour as well. We like how it's revealing, it's backless, shows a lot of skin, and so we decided to choose a dress that is backless. You can't actually see it here in this shot, but it does show her back, and it has a high slit all the way up to her thigh, which shows a lot of leg, and then it hasn't got any straps as well, so yeah. And we decided to have her hair up as well, in the style of Emma Stone's, because having the hair up reveals more shoulder skin and makes her look more seductive and just more revealed. So as you can see, we use a bar setting with all the bottles in the background. And we can see her with a drink here, and this is the same sort of setting as the one that Emma Stone's in here. In this setting, she's actually leaning on a bar. So yeah, it's sort of like, I don't know, the bar setting sort of represents a cool and sort of playful side to her personality. You know, she's sociable, she goes out and socialises. It represents a different side of her personality. The red colour of her dress is very eye-catching, and we decided to use this in our film as well, just to engage our audience. And also in the next scene, where she walks up to George, you can see that we have actually used quite modernised clothing for her. We've used like clumpy black heels, which are sort of in fashion at the moment of this day and age, and then a sort of long, sleek red gown, which would be a popular sort of style of clothing for someone to wear of this style. This was to add to our neo-noir convention, style of film. We then see her coming in closer to the detective and sort of showing a flirtatious and seductive side to her personality as she gets closer and actually touches the detective on the shoulder. And as you can see in this scene, Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, the femme fatale and the detective, look really close together and show a sort of flirtatious side, which is similar to the relationship shown in this scene in our film. Okay, and also in our film we have used typical conventions in our poster for our film noir. I'm just going to compare it to the poster from the film The Black Dahlia, which is also a film noir. This is our poster here. This is my poster that I created for our film here to the right. Just basically, they have similar sort of styles and effects to mine, such as the red text here, which is similar to my overall red text here of the main title. All the characters are centered together in the middle, so in The Black Dahlia these are the 4 main characters, and in Exchange of Interest these are our 3 main characters, and so they're shown in the center of the image rather than like in the top corner or whatever. They're both centered in full eye view for the audience. Also, it's sort of a mysterious black setting around the characters' faces. Like, not all of them are actually faded out, but there's still like a black sort of atmosphere, a moody atmosphere around them, which is similar to the style of mine. I wanted to include that in ours, to include like a mysterious and unsettling view for the audience. And also, on the male character in The Black Dahlia, where he's looking away from the camera, he's got shadows down one side of his face. And the fact that he's not actually looking at the camera looks sort of mysterious, and if he's not honest and he can't face the truth, that sort of character. We liked this sort of style and I wanted to include it in my poster, and so Ben here, who is shown in our poster, who is the bad detective Russell, we made him not looking at, I included it so he wasn't looking at the camera and he was looking away. And also the left side of his face was all shadowed, and I created this effect when taking the pictures and then editing them on Photoshop. So I wanted to include that style as I feel it makes him look really mysterious, and he's like the evil character. Also another similar style is the names at the top of the poster here, and then on mine here. So I included the three main characters in my film and their names above them. So that's Ben, this is Harry, and then that's George, and then that's their characters as well at the top. So yeah, I just like, particularly from this poster of the Black Dahlia, I like the black overall theme and the centered characters, and definitely wanted to include that in my poster, which I feel I have done. And then also in this poster of Gangster Squad, which is another film that I've researched for getting together information for my film noir, there is a triangular formation within the setup of the characters. Although mine isn't a triangular formation, they are in a set of three, which I think creates a neat and professional sort of look. And it sort of states that they are the main three characters within the film. Also, the red gown that Emma Stone is wearing, as I said previously from the movie clip, you can see it in full length here. Although I haven't shown it in full length on my poster, you can pretty much see that it is a red gown itself. And that is quite revealing, as it shows her whole arm, and you can maybe see a little bit at the back how it's draped at the back. So yeah, I wanted to include my femme fatale wearing red on my poster, as I feel that would link in with the red text that I've used, and also the red colour connotates a lot of hints of the storyline that it could involve, such as like death, danger, and then also love and passion, other things like that within it. So overall, I feel that we have used many typical conventions of film noirs, but challenged the conventions by putting them into a modernised film setting, as this isn't something you'd usually see.